From Fox 8, this is breaking news.
Good evening, I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Meg Gatto. We begin with breaking news tonight. The federal monitor in charge of the NOPD consent decree says the department's Public Integrity Bureau has been backsliding when it comes to compliance.
Yeah, the monitor specifically cites the internal investigation into Officer Jeffrey Vappy, a former member of Mayor Cantrell's security team. The report mentions our stories on Vappy that showed potential payroll fraud, and Vappy and the mayor spending hours of the workday together inside the city-owned Upper Pentaba apartment. According to the consent decree, the NOPD's Public Integrity Bureau completed its investigation on Vappy on March 10th. But when the consent decree monitor asked for a copy of the report, the NOPD refused to send it over, claiming it was not a serious misconduct complaint investigation. The consent decree monitor says that's wrong since the investigation focused on alleged payroll fraud. Eventually, the NOPD relented, sharing a copy of the report with the consent decree monitor on April 3rd. The monitor also cited potential legal conflicts when the city attorney visited the Public Integrity Bureau to monitor an NOPD officer with Officer Jeffrey Vappy. The monitor wrote situations like this can create the perception that City Hall is attempting to intimidate interviewees or investigators or otherwise interfere in a PIB investigation.
So the fact that the city attorney's office goes to just the re-interview of Officer Vappy when there had been an initial interview with Vappy as well as all the other people that were interviewed by Public Integrity, city attorney's office was a no-show. So if this was a priority case, why wasn't the city attorney's office there for every interview? Why was there a second interview scheduled with Officer Vappy, and what was the need for the city attorney's office to be there? Keep in mind that the leak of all of the recordings wasn't by PIB, it was by the city attorney's office that had access to these. So if the city attorney's office is important in trying to build this case, why weren't they there during every interview? Why were they there only for the second interview of Officer Vappy? Who requested that? Was that PIB or was that the city attorney's influence?
The report also criticized the city attorney's office for inadvertently releasing audio recordings of the Vappy investigation. We'll have much more on that part of the report and other findings tonight on Fox 8 News at 10.